Hello everyone. This is another ASMR with Night of the Galaxy Dimensions. This one is a bit of a tearjerker because this is going to be a not a series, just one part. And just writing this put some tears in my eyes. This is of Lilo and Stitch. Please note, I do not own Lilo and Stitch, nor do I claim it. This is just a fan story I made, and a sad one that I've been thinking about. I've been recently rewatching the series and the movies, and it just came to mind. Please note, I will include the Stitch series, even though most people may not, so I hope you'll enjoy it. And note that I will pause at some points because this is a bit of a tearjerker for me. Stitch was flying back to Hawaii, to his home. He wanted to see Lilo and her daughter. He told everyone back at his new home that he would be back, that he just needed to visit them for a little bit, as he had a bad feeling. Jumba and Pleakley were gone for a while, and he didn't know why. He thought they were just mainly on Galactic Alliance business. After that, Stitch returned to his home, and when he got there, he noticed there was a lot of people. Some new faces, most likely to Lilo's husband, and some old ones. He looked around and noticed they were all in tears, or rather, worried. He then noticed Lilo wasn't there. Stitch looked frantically and then remembered his old room. He went to the elevator, and when he got to the top, he was shocked. There were doctors of human, alien, and devices hooked up to someone on Lilo's bed. Stitch knew exactly what it could be. Stitch ran up, and the doctors tried to stop him, but a voice said, "Stitch, let me see, Stitch." The doctors let him pass, and Stitch was shocked to see Lilo's body hooked up to all these devices. Stitch went up and got on the bed next to her. Lilo petted Stitch, showing a kind smile, as she always does. However, Stitch knew something was wrong. He knew that Nani had passed away a couple of years ago, but he didn't know why Lilo was like this. The last time he knew, Lilo was in perfect health. The doctors explained that Lilo was exposed to some radiation from a meteor, as she had a job with the Galactic Alliance. Lilo then explained her story of how she was trying to save you others from the explosion, but got infected with the radiation. To the other species of the planet, it wasn't a problem, but to Lilo, as a human, it was. Apparently, it gave her a disease that was more deadly than anything the human race has known, and was new to even the Galactic Alliance. Stitch then realized what that meant. Lilo didn't have much time. The doctors say that she had a couple of days left, or maybe even a month or so. Stitch knew there had to be something. Stitch looked through everything he could find in Jumbo's lab, in the ship, everything. But after a couple of days, Stitch realized there was nothing he could do. Stitch then returned to Lilo's room. Everyone's in the living room mourning over what to do. Jumbo was in his lab trying to find something. Trying to save the girl he knew for years. But Stitch could only wait, as he knew he couldn't do anything. So he just laid on Lilo's lap, who was in a sedated state where she couldn't respond. Stitch knew she didn't have much time left, so she couldn't feel or hear anyone at the moment. Stitch could only listen to the heart monitor and to Lilo's breathing, praying, hoping she would be okay. But soon enough, time came. Stitch did everything he could to try and save her. He even got the doctors up to try and check, but nothing he did work. The doctors went down to tell the family. Stitch just lays there, crying, not knowing what to do. He just stares at Lilo's body, wondering if he could have done anything to save her. If he could have done something to make sure she'll be alright. But nothing Stitch could have done would have healed his wounds on his heart. A few months later, a funeral was held. Lilo was buried next to her sister. Stitch watches from afar in tears. When everyone leaves, he goes up to the grave and cries, mourns for the one who saves him from his destructive path, from himself. He stays there for days, in the rain, in the cold, mourning, not knowing what to do. But after a couple of days, Jumbo comes by and picks him up. Stitch wasn't the same. He stayed in Jumbo's house, looking out the window. No one knew what to do. Stitch then gets in his ship and goes back to Hawaii. When he reaches Lilo's grave, he sees Lilo's daughter standing over it with a flower in her hand. She sits down and invites Stitch over. He sits on her lap and they both cry, knowing that they just have each other now. Stitch's first friend gone. The one who taught him about family, about everything that made Stitch good, was gone. Stitch can only know that there wasn't a way for him to meet her, as an experiment of Jumbo's. His lifespan was who knows how long. Maybe forever, maybe trillions of years. Stitch could never know. All he could do is say, Ohana means family. And family means no one gets left behind. Stitch lived by those words for years to come, watching as everyone he knew and well know passes away. Until finally, he finds Jumbo's notes and sees that he can pass away, but only after a few years. And because thanks to Stitch's math, he finds out his time is almost up. Stitch doesn't fear it, nor does he try to curse the world about it. Instead, he just smiles. He says goodbye to everyone, and finally passes away. Stitch finally is able to see Lilo, his family, all together again. And he was able to be whole again. Stitch only smiles, knowing that he can finally be free. Well, everyone, I hope you all enjoy that. That was a real tearjerker for me. I'm literally in tears right now. Because I wanted to make this, but I also didn't. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm going to be taking a break or two for a couple of weeks or a day or two. I hope you'll enjoy, and please note, Disney, that Lilo and Stitch is not owned by me, but is owned by Disney, by Walt Disney Productions. And I hope you all enjoyed. Goodbye.